Today, we are bringing you back to the world of one of the most important first person shooters ever made, Supernova's Arc 3D.
Bog Panda.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Bog Panda. I am Dr. Mike at Official Pagan on everything. And joining me, as always,
this is the guy that's going to do all the teasers for all our videos moving forward. Hi, everybody. This is Kelly at KELLYTHOL on Twitter and Instagram.
So to combat Wolfenstein 3D and Doom and all those and the games that the church viewed as being a negative influence on stuff, they licensed the source code for the Super Nintendo Wolfenstein 3D port and made a Christian knockoff of Wolfenstein 3D called Supernova's Arc 3D. And you go around in basically the same type of levels as Wolfenstein 3D, but it's different barnyard animals. And you have to put them to sleep so that you can collect them to bring them to the Ark. So instead of enemies that you shoot, you're putting them to sleep.
With a gun?
It's so I just played it recently again. I hadn't played it since it came out. One of my friends got it as like a joke because it was one of those direct to the bargain bin games. Just kind of came and went so fast. I played it recently on Super Console X, so you probably have it on there. Go under Super Nintendo. I believe it was a slingshot, and it says that you're throwing food at them, if I remember correctly, in a little blurb at the beginning, which makes them go to sleep.
So turkey. So you're shooting turkey at them.
And it's basically a big Thanksgiving feast.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're putting them to sleep so that you can take them back to the Ark.
Okay. Yep, I'll have to check my Super Console X to see on that. But I'm sure it's there. Everything else is. So
probably is. If not, I'll send it to you legally.
Yeah. Yes, and you know, speaking of which, you know what else runs on a Super Console X? Doom.
Yeah, it does.
But apparently, Doom can run on about anything. So.
Yeah, you know what's interesting, even before getting into the topic of today's show, just we kind of touched on this before, how people, go out of their way to make Doom run on almost anything. Then you sent me some of the most interesting ones I've seen yet now.
Yeah, it's crazy because so originally for the show I'd come across the latest. So we've done a couple shows on Doom in different kind of environments, and there was an example of it's an open source BIOS that you can get that will allow you to put, in addition to just the typical BIOS stuff that's there, because it's open source, you can add things to it, including what are called payloads. And so the payload is basically additional environment that you want to kind of load up with the BIOS as a system's booting up. And one of those payloads was Doom. And so basically you have a laptop that thinks its only job is to play Doom, which would be a noble pursuit for a laptop to be Doom thing. And so there was this, hey, you can play Doom on a BIOS in this environment there. For everything we're talking about, we'll include links in the description so you can read in more detail about these. But I thought that was pretty cool. And I thought, we'll talk about that some. But that article then bridged out to multiple other environments that Doom has been made available on. We talked about rotary phone environment, which we thought was kind of crazy, but then stumbled across things like on an ATM screen, on a printer screen. So think about your little Kodak printer or whatever, and you've got the screen in the middle. There's Doom playing on that. I think the one I was most impressed with was someone was trying to get it to actually run on a Raspberry Pi, powered by potatoes. You can get a certain amount of amperage out of a large number of potatoes. Didn't have a lot of success. Eventually got it running on some sort of Nokia calculator or something like that. But it's still Doom running on a Nokia calculator powered by potatoes. So,
it's still potato Doom.
Yeah, still potato Doom. I think it's super impressive. So I'm beginning to think there isn't a platform out there that you can't get Doom to run on, except the Amiga, apparently. So, there were always versions of that, so that may have been more copyright, I guess, than anything else. But
yeah, I always, especially, you really got me into Amiga, And as I go further and further down that rabbit hole, some of their Doom clones are really good and really fun. Gloom is my favorite, which, I mean, you couldn't be any more blatant than that name. But that one's my favorite so far. Slightly better than running on potatoes.
Yeah, and then of course we get to the Amiga Mini world, and you'll get some a variant of it again there, and it's not Gloom, but you get to kind of Alien Breed. The Alien Breed heads down. We're doing kind of a top-down view versions on the Mini, and that's great. But then there's Alien Breed 3D, which and don't know where this show will fall versus as we talk more about the Amiga Mini, but not, yeah, it's no Gloom, at least my experience there. But it's still got Doom-like aspects to it. But yeah, I think it, I'm not sure we're going to do any more shows on what else you can run Doom on, because I think it's been established that it can run on anything. It's no longer new.
It's got to really be impressive for us to do another. You could run Doom on this episode.
Yeah,
that's it. We're throwing down the gauntlet, people. Figure out something crazy you could run Doom on.
Yeah, that would force us to do another show on it. They had one in there too, playing Doom in Doom. So they put an object in there to allow you to play Doom inside of Doom, which there's some smart people out there.
The universe collapsing in on itself.
Crazy.
And if, like me, you're a huge fan of Doom on 32X, we had spoken before that there was a fan-made patch to flesh out the game, because unfortunately, Doom, when it was initially released on 32X, got a little bit of a bad reputation because it was missing some stuff. It was only missing stuff because they decided to cut the development of it to rush it out for their big Christmas release, only to have Sega decide not to support the 32X before it was even released. So they rushed it for nothing. And as people learned very quickly, that was actually a great port of Doom, because then they saw what happened afterwards with things like Super Nintendo Doom or the 3DO Doom, which runs at a single frame rate, usually around 5-6 frames a second. So it just looks like you're opening and closing your eyes in front of a screen with some garbled footage that looks almost like Doom. 32X looked really good then. So there's another fan-made patch that gives you even more content than the complete original game. So that's worth checking out. So Kelly, if you were like a programmer, where would you try and put Doom?
So I think smartwatches is the way to go. I think that I've got the Fitbit Versa, and I think that would be a good port right there, is to have Doom on my Fitbit. That would be nice.
That would definitely be cool. Personally, I think we got it covered for different things you can play Doom on. I think I would try and go the route of coming up with a new Doom controller. Trying to figure out some way to control Doom in a different way than we already have.
Yep, and I've still got to explore the world a little bit deeper on the Quest 2, but there's some Doom options there, and so I do think VR Doom has a lot of capabilities or possibilities there, so that would certainly be good. But yeah, I think different controllers could still be kind of a fun one. Resurrecting the Power Glove, I'm sure could be kind of an interesting thing from there.
Nintendo does love those sort of peripherals.
Yes, indeed. And then what just occurred to me too is, while the smartwatches would be good, the Hallmark Christmas ornaments that used to be able to display a picture on your Christmas tree. What says Christmas more than Doom? Playing Doom on your Christmas tree. So I think those little ornaments would be another excellent place for them to be.
I agree with that. These are excellent choices, sir. Well, anything else you have to add to our Doom is Everywhere episode update?
Nope, except if any of our listeners have other ones that you really want to point out we've missed that are out there and related articles, that'd be great. Or if you have a suggestion where Doom needs to run next, let us know and see if you can convince us to do another show, because at this point we're just like, there's no longer a surprise involved. It's like, well, of course it can run on a pencil. You know, at this point, you're like,
Why wouldn't Doom run on that?
yeah, that's be it. So cool. It's the kind of the opposite of will it blend, I guess. So, nope, I got anything else. So just thanks for watching, folks.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Remember, the next time you're at Home Depot or Lowe's and you see somebody wheeling out a bunch of random construction equipment, they're probably playing Doom.